Yeah.
There you go.
Hello. Anyway. I am now.
Suppose on the edge want to get out of a Christmas cracker out.
I thought I fixed it and then just went, oh, how unprofessional. And I realised you still couldn't hear us. Oh, well.
Ross, I like your painting in the background.
Behold, Prince Vigo.
Hey, look at that. Is that what you got him for Christmas?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with? Is it Prince Vigo? Or am I just saying? Is it just Vigo?
It's Vigo, also known as Vigo von Homburg Duschendorf, also known as the Scourge of Carpathia, Sorrow of Moldavia, Vigo the Carpathian, Vigo the Cruel, Vigo the Torturer, Vigo the Despised, and Vigo the Unholy.
So no Prince Vigo.
No.
Oh, I'll go for Vigo the Scourge of Carpathia. Sounds
yeah.
Yeah. That's a title anybody could be jealous of.
Got many names.
You can't just become the Scourge of Carpathia overnight.
You can't just have one name if you're going to be the Vigo the Dirge or whatever it said. Vigo the Dirge.
If his eyes start glowing and I don't realise, fucking tell me. Warn me. If purple ooze starts dripping out of his face, I need to know.
You only get a couple of little LED lights just behind his eyes.
Maybe I'll set it up next time.
Yeah. But don't tell me. So halfway through, it just starts glowing. I was like, Ross.
I might go one step further and actually put a bag of purple slime on the back of the canvas, and then perhaps have like a little pump under the chair,
and then just randomly have a child in your arms.
Oh, what's that flash then?
Where?
Did you see a big flash on the screen then? Oh, I'm freaking out now.
Oh, God.
Fucking Vigo.
You've summoned him.
Vigo the Flasher was one of his less popular names.
the Scourge of Allerton Bywater doesn't have the same sort of ring to it.
I've just been looking at like facts to do with the films to try and make it a bit more interesting.
Just so we're a little step further than last time, do you know what a list is?
Yes, and I've got it in chronological order. And
excellent.
Rotten Tomatoes is
right. That's
a bit snobby when it comes to stuff.
And have you seen more than 5 films?
Luckily, yes.
I said the same thing to her because Fatima's been sort of humming and ahhing about doing a guest slot.
Oh, she should do it.
And I said to her, "You definitely should." Yeah. So I asked her the other day. I said, "So how do you feel about getting on the podcast then? Because we're going to be looking for another guest after Michaela, you know." And she said, "Yeah." She said, "I just need to try and the first thing I need to do is try and think of 5 films." I was like, "This is going to be another Lewis one."
You should have just run me up and said, "Right, we're doing it now."
Stay on the book. We're on.
Hello, Michaela.
Hello.
Is this thing on? Hello? Hello?
Well, I don't know what you want me to say. I just thought it was another continuation of the intro.
No, so. This is it. This is it. We're moving now. This is the podcast.
Well, I thought they'd go, who are you? What are you? Where are you? Who am I? Where's that? Where's that?
Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? Who are you? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? Say what is you? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? I say what is you? Who are you? Where are you? Why are you? When are you? How are you? What is you? I say what is you? Okay, so at least Michaela's the first person to ask for that jingle.
Yeah.
It's my favourite bit. I was trying to think of an answer for it for ages. It's a very intense
Isn't
thing,
it? Isn't it?
Every question is like a slap, isn't it?
So, Michaela, can you answer those questions for us, please?
Well, I tried thinking of the simplest way of trying to condensing it down. So I'm technically one of the 4 mistakes my mum produced. One of the 2 in the 90s, scientifically. Because apparently all 4 of her children were accidents. Like, that's quite careless, if you ask me.
Well, did you just fall out while she was shopping?
She just get me up in the frozen aisle.
Kind of reminds me of that Alan Partridge bit when he's getting interviewed and he says, "I believe you've got 2 children of your own, Alan." He goes, "I do, yes, both of which were unplanned, and unfortunately, they do pick up on
it." What's his children's names? Wasn't it Fernando and?
Yeah, something I can't remember.
Chiquitita or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Right. So what does that answer, Michaela?
Who are you?
Oh, right. You're a mistake. Right.
Yeah.
Michaela is a mistake. Yeah.
And the third mistake. I'm not the last mistake.
Okay.
Which I don't know if that values me of more important on some sort of scale, but yeah.
The lesser of the 4 mistakes.
It's over the course of 40 years as well, so it's quite a big...
You're the lesson that has yet to be learned. Quite poetic, if you put it that way.
Luckily, biologically, I think it's came to an end. So whether the lesson has been learned or whether it's just came to a natural end, I don't know. But yeah, the third mistake.
Right. Okay. So that who, I guess. Answer the rest.
Well, that's why. I mean.
Right. Oh, why? All right. Say that's why. Right. We'll start with the first one. Who? Who are you?
Yeah, Michaela, one of the third out of the 4
right,
mistakes.
Okay, so
I try to make it simple. I don't want everyone knowing my business. Do you know what I mean?
Simon has to break it down into bite-sized.
got to this is it's like bite-sized content that, you know, people that are just listening like by accident, they'll go, "Oh, that's it."
Right. Well, it answers who and why.
Yeah. Where?
When? Where? I don't know where. It was around September, which.
What was?
The conception. So. Well, I was trying to be specific to the fact that I gave you.
Tell me more about this conception.
I don't know any more about it, but.
Do you have any photographic evidence of the conception? Or?
Hopefully it doesn't exist anywhere. You can't be too careful.
It doesn't exist anywhere. Did they have like interdimensional intercourse? It must exist somewhere.
Oh,
we can only hope that there is another version of you that wasn't a mistake, just not in this universe.
Yeah.
Your fingers crossed. Oh, Essex, that's a where. That
what? Right, okay.
That's just a place.
It's not
Essex, September in the 90s.
Right, okay.
Right out of the 4 mistakes.
Is Essex also a state of mind? I don't know. Right, okay.
I mean,
I think
probably.
it's a technique. Have you never done the Essex?
Is that page 18 of the Kama Sutra? Right, okay. So is that all your answers?
Well, I thought I'd just try and make it narrow, like
right,
in
okay.
sentence.
Yeah, very good. So from the answers, who are you, where are you, why are you, when are you, how are you, and what is you? It's Essex and a mistake, a third mistake. That's it.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about that.
Well, I thought I'd just bring you facts and figures because.
Yeah,
I mean,
very good.
It makes it well-rounded, doesn't it?
Okay.
Well,
that's cleared everything up, Michaela. Thank you very much.
Chat facts and shit stats on this show.
Have you got any on your reject pile that you'd like to discuss? Maybe just to give us an idea of what we're looking at.
I don't know if
we already know, Simon. A mistake.
Third mistake in Essex.
So the films that didn't make it in,
yeah.
I mean, we're never gonna make it in. Is like,
right.
So they weren't contemplated to be in the top 5. So I don't know how much of an overview it's going to be.
Okay.
It's more just memories that I think should be films that I think that should be.
Films are memories, though.
Yeah. Oh God. I'm reading this because I've highlighted stuff to say, so I'm getting all fucking confused. But
like a dissertation, man.
Is it leather? Is it leather bound?
Perfect bound. But I've got a couple of films. So do you want the clues for these films, do you?
Well, go on then. May as well if you've got clues for him.
So one of the films that didn't make it in, Jordan Hoffman, which is a film critic of The Guardian, described this film as the relentless monstrosity of a film rife with fetishized cellulite, disgusting food, and fire hose penises. It's not for everyone, but perhaps it should be, in his 4-star review. It was a 2016 film. The guy that did the soundtrack that was made into a really good vinyl, weird film, was made by Andrew Hung. The soundtrack, I don't know who.
Magic Mike.
No, but
Simon just heard penises. Fetish. Just read that review again.
The relentless monstrosity of a film rife with fetishized cellulite, disgusting food, and fire hose penises. It's not for everyone, but perhaps it should be.
Fire hose penises. Fetishized cellulite.
These are all good names to the podcast, Ross. Keep going.
Have you got a copy of my Christmas list there? Bloody hell! So it sounds like a very full-on, very unsubtle film that's only 4 years old.
Yeah, I doubt it would have been in the cinema, from the looks of it. Definitely not a PG film.
Is it hardcore porn? Is that what it is? Yeah.
Is it a standalone film, or did it come from a book or a series or a porno?
Is it part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, all the films are usually standalone films. They're not part of a. Well, then again, yeah, this film is. It's a standalone film. I could not imagine there'd be a second or a third. Like, it's just a standalone film. It's an independent film, and it's truly the most fucked up film I've ever seen in my life. That's why I sort of gave it a mention.
Mother?
No.
Oh.
Where's the penises in Mother?
She's a mother. There must have been a penis at some point.
If it's an indie film, that makes me think like...
Yeah, it is.
I might not have even heard of it, perhaps.
Is there a chance we've never heard of it?
Yes.
Just tell us then. Just tell us.
I didn't know how long to it. I was like, maybe it is because the vinyl is... I don't know. I don't know whether it's been given any soundtrack awards, but it's just really weird. It's called The Greasy Strangler, and it's so weird.
That is a porn film.
Yeah. It's got like the weirdest plot. Like, it's like the son and his dad, and the son's like in his like 40s. His dad's like in his 60s or 70s. And I could not try and explain what the point of this film was. Like, I mean, it's like films like that have no point, but it's meant to be sort of a horror / comedy. I've got no other facts about it because...
Tell me about the whole pipe penises.
It's just like there's one scene like
Weirdly,
he just goes through naked in a car wash.
Forget about the penises. Tell me about the cellulite.
I can't say anything about it other than you just sort of have to wash into it, and you have to listen to the soundtrack. Yeah, right. So watching it is an experience in itself. But there's a lot of weird YouTube clips from it, and it's got like an odd sort of cinema. How do you say it? Cinematography. Yes, and it's filmed really weirdly.
Okay.
So yeah.
So that's one of the rejects. I don't know what that tells us about what the potential top 5 could be.
We're not going to guess a single
Nothing.
one of them.
No, my top 5 are a tiny bit more mainstream.
Number 5 is Bambi.
Yeah.
Sorry, Michaela, go on.
Is it going to be number 5 is Toy Story, number 4 is Cannibal Holocaust type thing?
Yeah.
You could probably link my top 5, but I don't know.
So how did you what sort of process did you go through because we found that a lot of our top 5 lists were they weren't necessarily films that if someone sat you in the corner and said pick a film, any film right now, there might be some in there that you might not ever watch again, but it was like an event film, so it's something that you associate with a particular time in your life, or for me, something that I might have watched at my grandma's, which thankfully had nothing to do with hosepipe cocks or cellulite. It was all very much PG. So how did you go about selecting what was your process?
Well, I've always had my top number 1 film. I know people say they find it really hard, and I've always had my favourite film. It'll always exist there. I've seen plenty of films since, and it's just because I got obsessed by it, and it links to it's not just a film, it has a wider sort of context sort of around it.
Definitely Bambi.
Honestly, you need to watch this film and talk about it in the future because it's so fucked up. It's odd. There's this weird bit where there's this 7-year-old guy with this massive dick just walking out of a car wash, and he's all soaking. It's really haunted us. I probably shouldn't have watched it, but the soundtrack's pretty good as well. It's a pretty cool vinyl.
We'll just listen to the soundtrack then.
That wasn't a film, it was the news, and I was very, very drunk.
Trying to Google it, nothing was coming up.
I didn't know whether to be complimented on how they generously reported my penis size, or he mistook me for a 70-year-old man,
or more annoyed that I had to put another pound in because they didn't clean it all the way along.
Yeah. Well, the problem is when you enter a car wash with a dip like that, the front is already out the other side.
Well, the front's being waxed before they've actually washed your balls. So
Yeah, exactly.
Common problem.
Yeah. And there was the suds behind the helm even after the wash.
You had to do a brake test before you left.
This is horrific. This is not the experience that
you brought it up. You brought it up.
When I came out, they said it's an extra $5 if you want your rims doing. I said no, it was just a cock I was after. Thanks. So let's go on to your number 5.
Okay. Number 5 is a bit more mainstream.
Number 5.
Is that how you make the sound?
What?
Is that how you do the sound?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. So.
That's the first thought, is it?
So, within the film, so that's when I was showing you this, it actually has a bit of a connection. So, in this film, there's a newspaper article that can be spotted on screen near the beginning of the movie that secretly spoils the whole plot, including the ending.
It's not 7, is it?
No.
Is there more clues?
Yeah.
I've written something down because something rings a bell.
The film shot in 3 different aspect ratios in order to help the audience differentiate between the 3 historical periods within in which the film is set. So the 80s, the 60s, and the 30s.
More clues?
No, it's not what I wrote down.
Yeah, I've got more. Filmmakers shot the film in 10 weeks, from January to March 2013 in Eastern Germany.
Is it a German film?
No. I have given you the hardest clues.
Yeah, these are fucking hard. I feel like these are only things you would know if you know the answer.
It's kind of the point, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's how quizzing works.
I'm afraid, Chris Tarrant, that's an unfair answer, a question, because I do not know the answer. Can you only ask me questions that I know the answer to, please?
It'd be more of a Slumdog Millionaire sort of thing.
Yeah. Oof, fucking hell. I mean, from what you've given me so far, so it's shot. So it was. When was it released? 2013.
2014, but it was shot in obviously 2013. Eastern Germany.
Across the 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah. If it helps, it's a well-known director.
Okay.
Well, it's a bit less obscure than the last ones.
Right, yeah.
I'd say. It's known for sort of it's a comedy drama film. Very much known for a stylistic sort of type of filming.
So do we need to narrow down?
Very recognisable in terms of sort of its cinematography and sort of the way it's filmed.
Is it a Quentin Tarantino film?
No, but think along them lines in terms of big directors.
Mike Scorsese.
No.
Even Spielberg.
No, we'll go down like more arts films, but like mainstream art films.
Darren Aronofsky.
No. Civic, I can be.
David, what's the guy called who did Twin Peaks?
Lynch.
David Lynch.
No, but you're getting close. You are getting closer.
Pedro Almodovar.
No.
I'm having a seizure.
Girl del Toro.
I'm trying to think of... So there's usually photographs of the locations that look similar to the ones featured in these films. So there's like an Instagram dedicated to this director and the type of locations they film. They've got a very stylistic look to them.
I've got nothing. Got absolutely nothing.
Well, I feel like we know the film, right?
Oh yeah.
Michaela, we know the film. We've heard of the film, right?
Yeah, you should have. I hope so. I think this is mainstream, so God help me if you haven't. It's one of the classics.
That and Space Jam.
I'm just trying to think of other sort of, auteur type directors where they have a clear, recognisable style, and that falls in line with what you're talking about. That's like a comedy drama.
I'm hoping you'll kick yourself when I say
is it
what it is.
Tim Burton?
No, but it's not like animated. It's.
Can you give us
actors?
Give us more clues. I really want to get this.
I know Bill Murray often features in a few of his films.
Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
Wes Anderson, yeah. So is it
Grand Budapest Hotel?
Yeah, the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Grand Budapest.
I love it. Yeah, it's just a really interesting film, and I could not put a Wes Anderson film in.
Yeah,
I love that film.
I do too. That is a film.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, just because I'm not signed up on his Instagram account doesn't mean I don't love his films.
We also did the other films, Secret Life of Walter Mitty, and what's the one, the Submarine one, where Willem Dafoe plays, what's that one called? It's really, really good. And The Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou.
I think that's one of the ones I've not seen.
I don't think I've seen that.
That's amazing as well. Good shout out, Michaela, because what's it called again? The Grand Budapest Hotel. I must have seen that 3 or 4 times. I love that film. It's class.
Ross, can I just ask you? He didn't do Walter Mitty.
Did he not?
No, I don't think you. I think you don't think you've seen that Walter Mitty film.
Because that has Steve Carell in it.
No, it's Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller. Yeah, that's it.
Have you confused Ben Stiller and Ben Affleck again?
No, well, just double check that the Life Aquatic of Steve Zissou is Wes Anderson.
Yeah, it is. That definitely is.
Right. No. Yeah. Okay.
Because once again, Ben Stiller directed The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Is the Royal Tenenbaums?
Yeah.
Moonrise Kingdom, Isle of Dogs.
Isle of Dogs is amazing. But I saw. Is it the Darjeeling Corporation? I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
That I saw that a few months ago, and I thought that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But no, the Life Aquatic one, I've never seen that one, but I want to see it.
If you're into Wes Anderson and the Grand Budapest Hotel is one of your top 5, you have to see the Life Aquatic.
Yeah,
you have to, because it's like that's like you can see where all of the ideas for the Grand Budapest Hotel came from, because Life Aquatic is very much in the same sort of vein where all the characters are a bit fucking mental.
Yeah.
Because Willem Dafoe's obviously in Grand Budapest Hotel, isn't he? He plays the silent assassin who just keeps following him ominously everywhere. But in Life Aquatic, I think if I remember right, Willem Dafoe is the captain of this submarine, and it's got Bill Murray, Owen Wilson. There's quite a few, big actors in it, and it's amazing.
No, that's good. Well, no, I think because I wasn't sure about one of them. No, it's the Grand Budapest Hotel. I thought it was that program on BBC where like all the slightly older actors go and live in a hotel for a while. Yeah, I thought it was something to do with that. I thought it was something else, and no, stay away from that. And then I watched it. And I thought it's almost perfect. I think it's beautifully filmed. It's really well acted. Thingy Ralph Fiennes is amazing in it, and he's a bit one-dimensional sometimes, whereas in that he's sort of perfect for it. And it's just quite sweet as well, isn't it? The whole thing's just a sweet film, and even the bits where aren't they on a sledge or something, and they're sliding down incredibly fast on this hill. And if any other film did that, you'd think, well, that's just the worst effect ever. But then you sort of think, well, no, it's kind of supposed to be a bit silly. It's supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
If you imagine James Bond, like that film where he slides off whatever, and he's got like a parachute, and then he's surfing across like a waterfall or whatever it is, it looks terrible. Whereas that's pretty much the same effect, but it's done for laughs kind of thing, or done well.
Yeah, hugely. Yeah. There's something like gimmicky about it, but there's something, I don't know, just you can spot a Wes Anderson film from it being done really, really well. And especially like reading a bit more, because it's been like so great, like reading more about my sort of favourite films and learning more about sort of how it's been done. It was just interesting to see how much thought has been put into sort of the filming of it, and like the 3 aspect ratios to sort of go back to the time of filming it. That
was it. That was a techie.
Right. Okay. So did you want to tell us about your 4th one then?
Yeah. So I need to read this and just not say the name, because I'm that type of person that just reads and speaks exactly what's on the paper, and I should have just crossed it out so I didn't just spoil it. Because I was about to say 4th, it's this.
All right, so ready? Michaela's number 4. There you go.
So it's a 2010 coming-of-age comedy drama film written and directed by Richard Ayoade. It was his debut film.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Did Alex Turner do the soundtrack?
He did. That's my next fact. And it went to the UK albums chart number 35 in 2011.
Alex Turner of the
Arctic Monkeys. He contributed 6 songs. One of the songs he re-recorded, and that went on to Suck It and See a bit later, but it was originally done for... That is a clue. You just guess and props now. Is that it?
You're lucky I didn't get the whole pipe of dicks out. I've been waiting about 10 years to use that prop, and I missed me.
Just had to clear it over Christmas. Oh no!
Should I tell you, like, wait there?
So I think your number 4 film is Submarine.
Yes, that is correct.
I've never seen it.
I don't know whether... Have you seen it, Si?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that you would see it. It's a very... I don't know, how would you describe it?
I don't really remember that much about it. Is it? I think, is it one of the films that not an awful lot happens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
It doesn't the boy just wander around an awful lot?
Sort of. And then gets his heart broken and then sets fires and stuff. Yeah. It's very much a film that I watched when I was sort of in college, and it has sort of a little place in my heart. I don't know. It's just some of that, again, I keep coming back to. It's nothing amazingly brilliant.
Yeah.
The actor is known for... he's known for a couple of films. I forgot what his name is, but he was in a lot of CBBC shows.
All right.
Which wasn't the greatest of past, to be honest. And then the main woman in it, Joanna Page, she...
Gavin and Stacey lady.
No.
Yasmin Page.
Oh. Is it Yasmin Page, is it?
Yeah. Joanna Page was...
Joanna Page is...
Yeah.
Oh, that's the... Stacey from Gavin.
Craig Roberts was in it. Yasmin Page, Sally Hawkins, Paddy Constantine was in it. Gemma Chan.
Paddy Constantine is one of my favourite British
actors.
Oh, I didn't know if there was any big name actors in it. I didn't recognise. I think
they've all gone on to sort of do a bit more since, really, I think.
You'd hope so.
Well, Paddy Constantine, I first knew him from Shane Meadows from Dead Man's Shoes.
I've still not watched that.
Oh, you've got to watch that film, man. And then he had a really good part, a really dark part in Peaky Blinders.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I definitely watched him in that then.
And Alex Turner-Link, he was in an Arctic Monkeys video.
Ah.
Something to do. What song was it? I remember it was on a roof. He was on a roof.
Are you thinking of Lionel Richie?
Leave Before the Lights Come On.
Okay, I think that was. I wonder if that was one of the songs.
No, 2006 that was.
Oh, then no. From the dates, that doesn't work out.
No, I have watched it. I can't remember a single thing about it, but I know I've watched it. I think I watched it because I knew that they'd done the soundtrack, and probably Richard Ayoade as well. Yeah.
That's what sort of got me in it. To be honest, it's not like the greatest film. It's probably not massively worthy for my top 4. Like, I could have moved it, but it's just a film that is just one of my favourites. I enjoy it the more time it's played. It's just quite just a dry, humoured film that's good to put on and watch. And I used to go to the hairdressers and have a picture of the girl up to go, I want my hair to look like that. So that it held a special memory. Like she was my sort of like...
Now you just held a Playmobil figure in front of them.
Yeah. I've got my Playmobil figure somewhere. Hang on. So, I just want to look like this. Shame you can't do thumbnails for podcasts.
Don't worry, that'll be on the cover. Don't worry. That's the you've just made the cover. Well done.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Can I get that type of service? Where no.
I think, look at that.
It's just I can just see white.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's a Bailey's hot chocolate.
Oh, you.
Oh.
Corona looks absolutely shite now.
Oh, it definitely is. It's nice.
It's not even. It's got piss. This was outside in the back street.
I've just got an empty Dunder Mifflin cup with liquid on.
Dunder Mifflin. What's that? Dunder Mifflin.
The Office.
The Office.
All right.
Yeah. I kind of wanted the world's best boss, but I'm happy with this.
And Ayoade was a bit like that. And I never watched the It Crowd. I wasn't that into it. And then obviously he really took off, didn't he? And then he's done a few. You both hate me, don't you? I can tell you.
But it's just because you said the It Crowd, and I was like, does he think like Richard Ayoade some like chick flick, like sort of like it sounds like a Mean Girl sort of thing?
Have I got that wrong?
But it's just the IT crowd.
It's the IT crowd.
I was scared though and bringing it up because
No. You must correct him. You must correct him.
Yeah, but a lot of the times I'm wrong. Like I remember calling like dressing downs for like 20 years. And I thought it was called that, and it made sense because you dress down obviously when you come back home. So like it's like putting on your dressing down.
Well, did you ever show up to an event in a dressing gown when like someone else just like a dress down, type event, and then you rock up in your dressing gown?
You're there. Your boss comes up to you and says, "Right, tomorrow it's dress down day." Everyone else in the jeans.
Luckily, it wasn't that public an event. Sort of understanding of it. It was in the kitchen of my second uni house. Well, it's my dressing down because I said I got a new dressing down for Christmas, and I still call it that. And they were like, "What?" Like dressing down, and apparently, right, another thing. So I say masters because I'm doing a masters, and it's the only posh word a lot of Geordies say, right? So you usually call it masters.
Yeah.
But like, I said masters, and I became so. In my third year of uni, people used to call us masters because it was the only posh word I used to say. So that's what I got called. And I had to get videos up of like Ant and Dec because they say it. So they say masters and they don't say masters. And it's like one of the only Geordie words that is often said. Like,
what did you search for? Did you just search for Ant and Dec say master?
No, but I was trying to find like interviews and stuff like that, and I did find something. I don't know how I found it, but I did find them saying it. And I've got another friend from obviously Newcastle, and they say it as well. So it wasn't just me. So there's a couple of things that I don't like. I don't like saying, "Oh, you've got that wrong," like you've pronounced it incorrectly, because I'm scared it'll just be another one of the stories I tell people in the future of like the dressing down or the masters.
The only thing that though, because like I noticed like with my brother-in-law when I was talking to him the other night, and he was talking about, he said the word plaster. Have you got any plasters? But he said, have you got any plasters? And I was like, plasters? I looked at him and thought, I thought he had he'd slurred his speech or something.
Is he Australian?
And I said,
you got any plasters, mate?
I said, what is it you're after? He said, plasters. And I said, fucking, it's a plaster. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? But there's some people, Yorkshire people who do that. They make the A really long, and I don't really understand why. Like, because it doesn't.
I say it as well, plasters.
The accent at all. You say plasters. Why? Why do you do
I
that?
have no idea. Well, it's the same with masters, and I was like, I can't do a masters.
What about parsnips?
Parsnips.
You go parsnips.
Yeah, but I don't say. How do I say it in my own fucking accent? See, it's creating some sort of paradox now.
They say I want some parsnips.
Parsnips.
Yeah, that's pretty normal to me. But so it's LA then, isn't it? So what about
masters? Plus.
What about the word flabbergasted? Where do you go flabbergasted?
Flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
Those parsnips were amazing. I'm flabbergasted.
I've mastered cooking carrots. Oh, I've got my finger. I need a plaster.
All right. Okay, so Michaela's number 3. Okay, Michaela.
I'm never going to be over that. That's like, how did you come on to creating that?
I think I just tried it and realised it worked. Like most things.
That's my mum's motto for child.
Yeah, that's right. That's it. Made a lot of mistakes.
Well practiced. So, this one's a 2014 American drama film. I think if anyone's going to guess this, it should be Ross. I reckon. I'm hoping.
I'm gonna have that wee then.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think you'd watch Submarine, so I mean, it could be full of surprises. This answer. So the actor. I don't want to give this fact away. Maybe I should give that after. So the two main actors suffered brutal injuries during the production. In one scene, one character tackles the other character to the ground, and the end result was one of them suffering 2 broken ribs. Additionally, during the production of the film, the main actor, I can't say that fact. Shit. But it's if I say the main bit of the...
Is it a comedy?
No, it's a drama. The actor performed most of the drumming himself, probably 99% of the drumming.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I know now.
Okay. And then another fact is, the two actors, one of the scenes where he gets repeatedly slapped across the face, in the initial takes, they used angles and sound effects to fake the slap. But in the end, they just actually filmed him just slapping him across the face. So that's why his cheek was really red.
Right.
Yeah. Guesses.
Yeah. The thing is, I know exactly what the film is, and I'm just remember it.
Slumdog Millionaire, but...
my neck. Oh, my neck, Ross. Ross, my neck. I've been in a bad car accident. Oh, I'm going to be claiming for that.
Where does a blame, does a claim?
Yeah. Oh, my neck. Oh, it's all because of the accident, Ross.
We should do catchphrase.
Yeah.
Oh,
dear, it really hurts, Ross. It really hurts. $2,000 I'm going to get for this.
Maybe I just shouldn't have said anything about the film and just done that.
Oh, fucking hell, what's the name?
Oh, my neck, Ross. Ross, my neck. Oh, it really hurts. Oh, be worse without that headrest. What?
I don't know why I've never done this in Charades. This would be the ideal film.
I can barely lift my Bailey's hot chocolate.
You doing that is making this harder for me. It's one word, isn't it?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Right, Ross. Are you ready for? Are you ready for Simon and Ross charades? Okay.
Film.
Right. Okay.
First, one word. 2 syllables. First syllable. Whiplash.
Yeah.
Correct. Yay.
No, I'm absolutely doing my head in that. I was watching it, I was thinking cramp, pain, trapped nerve. Emergency stop, no seatbelt. It was just fucking me up completely, you doing that. Fucking Whiplash. Yeah, if you said a Metallica song, I'd have got it in an instant.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Interestingly, that is a class film, really enjoyed it. But a good friend of mine is a drummer. And I got in touch with him after it. I said, have you seen Whiplash? And he said, yes, what?
Seen it, I'm feeling it.
We thought it was shit. I was like, that's surprising, that. But yeah, it's a quality film, is that? I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's really usually well rated by musicians because it didn't get a lot of actors in. The actors that they did get in, I don't know if they chose, what's he called? Miles Teller? Yeah, Miles Teller in because he did bits of drumming in the past, but it's good that he learned and practiced it. But I suppose I don't think anyone could go from simplistic to amazing sort of jazz drummer to, you know what I mean? So maybe it's like if you were a photographer and there's a film about photography, you'll try and pick out bits. Maybe I don't know. Maybe. Why did you say he didn't really enjoy it? Was it because of the performance or?
No, because he's a snobby. What else was he in? Because he's been in a lot, hasn't he?
Yes, he has, isn't he? I don't know.
He was really good. He was really fucking domineering in that film.
Yeah, it was incredible. There was just something about it. It was,
I've never seen it.
Really?
No.
You should. It's
No.
outstanding. I'm using it as sort of maybe my behaviour management tool for my teaching. You can draw. Yes, you can draw. Here's a pencil.
Say masters.
I kind of thought that, you know what really what I liked about that film is obviously they've got this really sort of tumultuous relationship throughout the film. And you kind of, in any typical narrative, you would expect them to slowly come closer and closer together and then join in mutual respect, and the relationship finishes up as being stronger than it's ever been. But it actually sort of does the opposite. It's like the pressure that the coach puts on his pupil ultimately drives them completely apart, and then they end up, like a chance encounter in a bar, if I remember right, or it's like the coach is playing in a band in this bar, and the pupil sees him, and then they have like an interaction, and then they end up doing a show together. But then the coach tries to sabotage the kid's performance by, I think he gives him a bit of music that isn't what the orchestra are playing or something like that.
That's right.
Music. And I was watching it, I was thinking, obviously he starts going off on one, and he shows he's like, the pupil becomes the master, and he's like the master, and he's like, fuck you, starts doing it.
Just like Star Wars.
It's just like Star Wars, yeah. Yeah. And but then at the end, I think they actually end up, does he start getting aggressive on stage and starts destroying shit? I can't remember.
Yeah, well, he basically just kicks off, and then the last performance is, it's Caravan, the song is the end, and that was the song that I was trying to practice, so it was a bit of a sort of going back to that, and him just like trying to play it perfectly. But you're totally right, it was sort of like, you'd think it'd be sort of a nice happy ending, but it's like, it's more of a chaotic explosion of just hating each other at the end, really. You said it so perfectly, you described the plot.
And then that scene when he's, I think the kid is like, he leaves his music somewhere, and it's like this really important performance, and he runs home and he crashes his car and he nearly dies. It's been a few years since I've seen it. I was trying to remember. I think he's involved in like a car accident, and then he's trying to get back, and he basically shows up to this gig half dead. Like the entire world was trying to prevent him from getting to this show, and he's just going through all sorts, and he finally gets there, and his hands are bleeding, and I think he's got like a fucking broken spine or something. He's just fucked, and then he manages to, he pulls himself out of this wreckage of this car to get the music, and but I remember it being a really powerful film. Like it had me totally gripped, like, and afterwards I was really hoping, I thought, I know I want to speak to about this film. Messaged me mate, and I thought it was one of them where I messaged him. I said, have you seen Whiplash? And I was waiting. I thought, as soon as I send this, I give it 30 seconds, my phone's going to ring, and it'll be him saying, let's talk about Whiplash. I waited 30 seconds, and my phone did bleep, but it was just a 3-word message that said, yeah, it's shite. And it was like, oh, fucking hell.
The simplest of reviews. Oh, that's a shame, because I felt the same as you. There's something so powerful about it. I suppose if it was just the resilience, there was something about it. Just like, if you work really hard, you can try and get it, but not in this sort of Disney princess sort of way. You can work really hard, and even if shit's terrible, you can still try and do it. But I loved it. It was, and it makes you think that you're an amazing drummer after you start fucking tapping everything. Like, I remember watching.
Noodles are turned upside down in the living room. And I was like, this is a piece of shit. I even crashed my car just to get the I think it must be really hard to find. It's like doing a film it appeals to musicians in a musical theory type, for musicians who, create songs and music in a group, to make a film that's so relevant and interesting, yet also appeals to the mainstream, to people who, you know, don't play instruments, to people who don't have an appreciation for what it is to learn an instrument.
Absolutely, yeah.
All of that stuff. What the fuck is Simon?
I don't know. I was worried what body part that was on top of his fucking camera.
I thought he had his perineum up against us.
I just threw wine all over my computer, so I'm just tidying it up without disconnecting the Zoom call.
Do we need to write that up on Rotten Tomatoes and an alternative reviewer with
why are you cleaning it up with your taint?
I'm not. I'm cleaning it up with a sock.
All right.
That reminds me, it's British Strangler one. Yes, number 2.
Michaela's number 2.
I think I only do that for myself now.
So this film, I've got a double-sided bit of paper to save on.
Bloody hell.
Save the trees. So it's okay. Contrary to the fact that I'd say I don't like sci-fi, this one is sort of classed as sort of a sci-fi, but not really. It's like a sci-fi, arty, independent film, which is sort of given away a bit anyway. So, so 2013 American sci-fi romantic drama. I don't want to say who it's directed by because that might give it away. In a 2016 BBC poll, it was voted the 84th greatest film since 2000, and that was done in 2016, that poll. Just in case it just that 2016 figure makes a difference. Oh yeah.
4 years ago, it was my 86th favourite film.
I'm regretting memorising 70 through 90 now.
Yes.
The score for the film was credited by Arcade Fire, with additional music by Owen Pallett. Is that right? Arcade Fire, Will Butler and Pallett were the major contributors to it. The soundtrack has not been released in digital or physical form, and Warner Brothers has not announced any plans to release it in the future, although it's really well known for its soundtrack. So a 13-track score was made available for streaming online in January 2014 before being taken down. And there was sort of a thread on Reddit in 2016, and Will Butler mentioned the possibility of a future vinyl release, but it's not been done, unfortunately, yet. The other clues would just spoil it, but I might just say it, considering Simon's going to have a fucking heart attack.
I know it. I know it as well.
It was written, directed, and produced by Spike Jonze. No, Spike Jonze. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Has Joaquin Phoenix as the main character and Scarlett Johansson.
Sorry,
who? Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin. How do you pronounce his name? Joaquin. I know River.
No, don't tell her. Don't tell her.
I'm gonna have to do one of them things that do you want to Google someone's name and Google?
No, just tell us. Just tell us.
Tell us what the film is.
No. Tell us the guy's name.
I don't want to because then you use that as.
No, go on.
It's Joaquin. Joaquin Phoenix. Is that not how you pronounce his name?
Joaquin.
Wasn't it? Didn't he play for Manchester City at some point?
I didn't realise this podcast was just
Joaquin.
A public billion.
Pohenix.
I thought it was Joaquin Phoenix. Is that not how you pronounce? Somewhat. What's his name? How do you pronounce it?
It's Keith. It's Joaquin. Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix. I've been calling him Joaquin Phoenix up until this day. Have you seen that film with the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix?
That's why he must have cast him.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was particularly funny because like Joaquin plays the Joker.
We'll save money on the posters.
called Joaquin Phoenix.
Joking.
I'm not being funny, but I'm not the only person who have probably done that. What a stupid fucking name. Like, it's a good job his brother was called River. You can't mispronounce that. Do you know what I mean?
Two brothers. That's River, and that's Joaquin. It's a bit of a goer. So it's Joaquin Phoenix and Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
She.
Think of a different pronoun.
Girl. No.
Her.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So I just love that film. It's just I like the little AI thing, and when he's playing that game, and this like the video game, the little character's like, "Fuck you, fucking fuck face, fuck shit, fuck face," and it's so good. There's just something, about that film. You've seen that film or not? Yeah, you have no idea. No. I thought you weren't laughing at that was the perfect sort of impression of this little. So it's not part of the.
But now your sort of impressions are referencing to anything will be questioned now. because if he's known as Joaquin, all bets are off.
This is like the dressing gown thing. Dressing gown. I knew it'd come out. I knew I'd say something.
It's like my favourite female country singer, Shania Twain.
Just a public front for bullying. I'm going to ask Lou if he's left the house in months after this ends.
Not to mention my favourite horror writer, Steph Hen King.
I'm not being funny, but it's spelled with a J. Like, I'm just trying to
Okay, I'm gonna spell a name, and you're gonna tell me how you pronounce it, right? I'm gonna spell a name. It's only got 4 letters. Juan.
Juan. Juan. Yeah, that's like Chinese. Juan. Oh yeah. Oh.
Not Joanne.
It's a really good film. You should watch it.
I didn't quite get the sort of premise of it. Did he fall in love with like an AI on his computer or something?
Yeah. So it starts off a bit like non-PG. So it's a bit weird if you watch it with people, because he's sort of like talking to this AI, but it's more of like a sex line thing, and it's a bit weird. But then the rest of the film's like quite like sort of like this odd falling in love with. So he gets this AI thing, so a piece of technology, and you can sort of personalize it to how you want, and it creates like a conversation, and it learns from you as you're speaking to it. So it's sort of evolving like an AI would.
Right.
And everyone has one. It's sort of a futuristic sort of part of technology that's going to be in everyone's lives.
Right.
I don't want to say the ending because it does sort of spoil it, but it's this sort of like a balance between obviously AI, it's not human, it's going wrong, sort of it being what's socially acceptable with sort of AI coming across as human. So it's sort of stretching the boundaries of that, but it's just, quite a good film, and the soundtrack's just incredible. Again, it's another one I'm really big on, sort of not just the film and the premise of the film, sort of the wider context around it, and the soundtrack's just something I've always quite liked. And it's just a shame they've never released it, and it's so good. Joaquin. It took us so long to remember his name because like Joaquin. It looks like Joaquin, but it's not. It's Joaquin.
I'd love it if you were following sort of Joaquin Phoenix academically and you got a master's and you were talking about it. My head would explode.
Right, so Michaela's top 5. Number 5, Grand Budapest Hotel. Number 4, Submarine. Number 3, Whiplash. And 2, Her, featuring Joaquin Phoenix. So here we are, finally, with Michaela's number 1 film. Are you ready, Michaela?
Yes.
Michaela's number 1.
Sorry, Matt's just walked past, just looking at us, just thinking
Hi,
like...
Matt.
He's run off now, which he sort of does when he looks at me, to be honest, at the moment. I don't know what she's up for. I think he's been trapped in a room. I'm doing a podcast. Stop saying stuff on your Xbox. Shut up. This is my chance to fame, Matt, don't you?
When like you're in the attic and you see a bloke run past wearing nothing but a dog collar and
I'm a skate! Yay! Freedom!
Tripwire just falls over.
His cellulite and his firehouse penis just in the distance.
One fire hose penis, please.
Does sound like a pizza, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah. I'll have the hot and spicy stuffed crust fire hose penis with a side of fetishized cellulite. Extra mayo, obviously.
Actually, hold the cellulite. It gives me gas.
You better get some Rennies in. You know the.
Yeah. You know. Right. So, Michaela,
don't try eating fire hose penis without a wedge of lemon to.
I find it's easy if you grate it.
So, this film. Oh, where do I start? So, it's a 2007 American biographical adventure drama film directed by Sean Penn. It's an adaptation of the 1996 non-fiction book of the same name, written by, I don't even want to say his name, I'm so self-conscious, John Cracker? I don't know. Don't know if that's his name. Not that makes a difference.
What wasn't he Defender with Joe Keane up front? No, he's goal. It was in goals. It was in goals. It's all right.
The person that they were depicting in the film, their sort of pseudonym was called Alexander Supertramp, and it's based on obviously a biographical sort of representation of real person and their story. In terms of their death, why not go to the end of it? The person had a final written journal entry noted as day 107, simply read "beautiful blue berries." Day 108 through 112 contained no words and were marked only with slashes, and on day 113 there was no entry. The exact time and date of the death of this person is not known. Near the time of the person's death, the person took a picture of themselves waving while holding a written note which read, "I have had a happy life and thank the Lord. Goodbye and may God bless all." On September the 6th, 1992, a group of hunters found this person when they were looking for shelter and came upon this converted bus where the person had been staying. Upon entering, they smelled what they thought was rotten food and discovered a lump, which was, the decomposing remains of this person in a sleeping bag. It's theorized, and in the movie, that they died from starvation approximately 2 weeks before their body was found. But in the movie, they also represented it with possibly like food poisoning from a berry, which is how they depicted sort of the ending of this person in the film. Emil Hirsch.
I think
Emil Hirsch played the main character.
I know. The guy got stranded in an island, didn't he?
In Alaska.
Yeah, and there was a yellow bus or something.
A yellow bus.
Oh, is it? It's not Wild at Heart.
Very close. Keep the wild in, but there's 2 words before.
Into the Wild.
Into the Wild, yeah.
Yeah.
So that is my favourite film of all time. Always will be. I'm just obsessed about the whole thing. I was just blown away by it. Like, I remember, God, when did I start watching it? I remember it was like the cover photo of my Facebook for like years, because I was like, oh, it's a very much like, fuck the world, like anti-capitalist, like sort of like, oh, I'm just going to run into nature because I don't like everyone. Fuck getting a job, fuck getting qualifications. Like, I don't think my mum knew the phase that I was going through. I was about 16 and instead of drinking in the park, I was just watching like independent films about grown men that just ran off into the wild. So
was this all the day before you handed your CV into Jessica?
I literally just said that.
Oh, did you? Oh, sorry.
I literally just said 2 days later you handed your CV in a Jessica.
No, luckily it was many moons before that. I just got into it when I was like 16. I was just like angsty and just, I don't know.
I sort of get, I've not seen either of them, but I sort of get confused with, is it Timothy Treadwell, the one that was with the Bears? Or something, the Bear Man or something.
Brokeback Mountain.
Jungle Book.
yeah, that's it. Jungle Book.
Another
one of the classics.
Yeah. See, that is a classic. I always get the 2 confused in my mind because similar sort of stories. But I know I watched some documentary where someone was able to. I think you can only access it by like helicopter, can't you? I think.
Yeah, I read up about it recently as well, because I was obsessed when I was 16. I was like, I'm going to go to Alaska and I'm going to do this trail. It's like, I could not be trusted, like, to even walk in, like, the country. Do you know what I mean? Like, it would require, like, really expert skills to get to where the bus was. But I was reading about it because in my head I was like, oh, I want to go to Alaska and I want to visit this bus. And you can, like, get air by helicopter, which is the most accessible way, or you can do it by foot, which is the way Christopher McCandless did. So Christopher McCandless is based on the guy. And, I read his biography, and that was incredible as well. And you learned about his life and other people who've done the same, and other people who survived for a lot longer, because eventually he died of starvation. But there's some people that have sort of, did a similar thing before him and after him, and sort of, learned about their story. But I was reading up about this bus because I was like, I wondered, like, if there's any more trails on how to get there, or if it's became more accessible somehow, like sort of commercialized. But so the abandoned cane bus on the Stampede Trail was where McCandless died, became a pilgrimage destination for fans, located in Alaska, 30 miles from the nearest town. Visitors to the site had to cross the dangerous, God knows how to pronounce this, Teklanika River.
That'll do.
Funny river. In 2019, a newlywed woman from Belarus drowned trying to cross the river. So there's been like loads of deaths of, it's quite ironic, loads of people dying on the way to visit this this bus. People dying from frostbite. The stranded Brazilian had to be rescued in April 2020. So he decided to go, for the pandemic, I need to go to Alaska in the woods. So there must have been people having that sort of moment. 15 bus-related search and rescue operations visitors were carried out between 2019 and 2017. On June the 18th, 2020, the bus was removed due to public safety concerns. It was airlifted by a US Army helicopter to an undisclosed location, pending a decision about its final destination. But now it's in the Museum of the North at University of Alaska, Fairbanks. So that's going to be the permanent home for the Magic Bus 142, and it's going to be restored, and then it's going to be a permanent outdoor exhibition there. So
I thought you were going to tell me it's that bloody red bus on the A64 on the way to the old red bus cafe, the other one, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's actually in Hyde Park now, and it's become like a local attraction for jazz nights. And Imagine. But yeah, it's just
A guy from Leeds died near it after eating a dodgy burger, so everyone flocks to it now. So yeah.
It's now just been bought by First and restored, and there's no travelling to Beeston. Yeah, this film, I know it's a bit of a less of a wild ending to some of the stories I've taken you on.
I don't know if I've seen. I think I've seen parts of it, and I think I've seen it. I think I watched Into the Wild in a room full of people who slowly became less and less interested. And I think it was if I remember right, I watched it start to finish, but was distracted a lot. So I don't think I've ever actually sat down and properly paid attention to it. So I've always meant to, because I know it's Into the Wild is a lot of people, talk about it and find it quite powerful and compelling. So I've always made a sort of mental note to watch it. And give it more time, but I think going by the rest of your list, I think that was a solid list actually. I think there's a lot of good films there, definitely. I mean, considering we were contending with Pretty Woman and Balto I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. I mean, how deep on Pretty Woman? I could have worded that better.
How deep on Julia Roberts can you go?
About a hose pipe's worth of I think that was really good. I think there's some really good movies there, and you've made me want to watch Whiplash again as well.
I think you have made, after years of not wanting to see Whiplash, I now do want to probably watch it. Maybe
I should have had affiliate links attached.
Definitive answer. Probably, maybe might watch it, but not for at least 2 years.
Yeah,
maybe.
And Into the Wild, like I say, I think because I associate it with the Bear Man. I can't remember what that film's called. I think I've got confused between the two many times and not ended up watching either of them.
One's called Yogi and Loves Jam Sandwiches.
Oh, that's it.
The other one is a powerful and emotional biopic.
That's the one.
One of them has a statue in New York Central Park.
And there the similarities end.
But yeah, Timothy Treadwell, media attention, Grizzly Man. Directed by Werner Herzog. Yeah, I'll need to watch that. I'll watch them both, I promise you.
Yeah, I mean, Into the Wild it's a really anticlimactic film, because now you know the end of it. It's nothing dramatic happens really. It's more the dramatic bit, if anything, is him going fuck the world, trashing his car, he makes it look as if he's been sort of lost. And I read a bit about his car that he owned, and eventually the local police started using it as an undercover car, so they restored it and then use it for there must not be many abandoned cars in the areas, and if there is, they'll be like, oh, we'll fucking take that whilst it's here. So it's more about, again, it's not really the film itself, it's more the context sort of surrounding the film and about this guy and other people who've done it. There's something just, I don't know, quite brilliant, and people going, just fuck it. And it's like an adult, a kid, storming off with the suitcase going, I'm leaving, I'm gone. But just a very dramatic adult version of
bacon is good for me.
I'm leaving and you can't stop me. That woman can't run in those pretty little high heels. It's kind of like an adult doing that and just being like, fuck it. You'd probably freak out if you, if I saw one of my mates cutting up the credit cards, I'd be crikey, what have they taken? Gonna have to do some sort of
how hard are Debenhams pursuing them?
Yeah. The illegal highs have gotten a bit stronger these days. Yeah, the sun is so brilliant about the story, but there you go. Top 5 favourite films and The Greasy Strangler.
They were a lot better than what I thought you were setting us up for. I thought this is going to be, when you said that, I thought, is this going to be 5 films that neither of us have ever heard of? They're all weird as fuck.
Yeah.
And they've all got some weird, phallic.
And ultimately absolute dog shit.
Yeah. My number 3 is Gigantic Coccosaurus Rex. It's like Jurassic Park, but
That was my number 2 until Edward Pena's hands came out.
Yeah, number 2 is For Whom the Bell End Tolls.
If you want to listen to exclusive episodes, go to patreon.com and look for Simon and Ross on there. And it's very cheap and you get extra things. And you get early access to episodes.
And if you like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, that means that every Monday morning when they're released, you'll get a notification.
Correct. That's right.
Factual information. You do merch though. You've got a cup. Is it a cup or a something?
Cups, t-shirts, face masks, dildos.
React race days.
Yeah, so follow us on Twitter, and we haven't decided what the next topic is, have we, Ross? Or have we?
What was the Twitter handle again, Simon?
What's that?
What was the Twitter handle?
It's Simon and Ross on Twitter, isn't it?
That's a long handle, isn't it?
It's
thank you.
@S&R_ podcast.
That's the one. You beat me to it there, Ross. So yeah. So we're not sure what the next episode is going to be, but join us next week. We'll have some shit for you.